Hello, people of grace. In our worship service this Sunday, we're going to be looking at a passage in Luke where Jesus tells a parable encouraging the disciples to be vigilant, to see, to be awake. And of course, we see with our eyes. And studying the whole kind of metaphor of the eye as it's used in the New Testament is really quite challenging and powerful way to really bring the word alive in our lives today. But part of this idea of looking at something with the eye is really where we get our modern concept of theory. That when we see things, we are just very inclined to try to build at least a hypothesis and ultimately a theory. But here's the challenge. As you do that, it literally changes the way you look at the situation in a way that reinforces your own theory, your own perspective on life. And if our perspective is good, then that reinforcement is good. But if our perspective is bad, then that reinforcement is bad. And if our perspective is off, then our whole way of looking at life is going to be off. And this is why it's so important to understand faith in the New Testament. And faith means a lot of things. But one aspect of faith is that it really is that you have something in place inside of you that, yes, trusts God and believes the gospel, but has permeated your soul to a way that it really gets in front of how you interpret life. So faith is not knowledge, it is a way of knowing. And as Jesus talks about the eye a little bit before Luke chapter 12, verse 35, that we're going to focus on this Sunday, in Luke chapter 11, he says, if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is unhealthy or evil or rotting, then even the light that is within you will be darkness. So be careful, be alert, be vigilant, that the light that is within you doesn't become darkness. This is that beautiful singleness of eye that if you are part of the Grace Bible Church family, you know that I love that concept from Jesus. But so your eye is the way that you look at things. And faith is then a way of interpreting life and data. It's not the data or life or knowledge itself. And if your eye is faithful and trusting God, and you have worked on that enough where that's starting to just seep, as I mentioned earlier, deep into your soul, it changes the way you interpret the data, which changes you, which reinforces that faith growth. As Jesus said, to who has, more will be given. But to the one who does not have, even what they have will be taken. Or, to look at it in this passage, if you're not working on looking at life with the eye of faith, the way Jesus looks at life, even the light that is within you will become dark. It's not the data, it's how you interpret the data. If you aren't careful, you'll see the bad and everything will become bad. But if we see the good and we look at life the way Jesus looks at life, everything is good. And just good in the sense that it reinforces our faith. And that is encouraging. Be faithful, be courageous, and have a blessed day.